I was born here in this town, and it always holds a special place in my heart. And so I love to visit my family and the roots of where I was born. So whenever we can, we come and we visit because we like to reconnect with the past and keep up with its future. So I left Grattacazzolo when I was 7 to be reunited with my father, who had gone to the United States, New York, to get work, because at that time Italy was suffering even more than it seems to be suffering now in terms of not having enough jobs. And so I left at 7 with my brother and my mother, and we reunited our family in Brooklyn, New York, where I grew up and went to school there. And later on, after graduating school, I became a teacher and moved back to the country because it reminded me of Italy. It had mountains, not quite as dramatic, but similar to the mountains of Italy, and it held better opportunity and promise to raise a family. And that's where I met my sweetheart,
Diana.
Diana, who her name in English is really Diane, but I fondly call her Diana because that's the Italian equivalent. And so here we are visiting. You know, we have lots of cugini here. Unfortunately, our grandparents have passed away, but we reconnect with their spirits whenever we come. And that's why we're here, and we're enjoying every moment. We did a tour of Lago di Seo. This afternoon we're going to take a trip over il Passo Presolana. Siamo stato anche, we've gone down to Lerici and
Porto Venere,
and we are having a wonderful time. Nothing in the world beats Italian food and Italian cooking and Italian family. And I don't know, do you want to, why don't you?
Sono Diana Lusardi, sposato, we were married, siamo sposato
Sì?
2 anni fa, due settimane fa, in Italy now for our honeymoon. Sono americano, non italiano, ma italiano nel mio cuore. Piace Italia tutto. Siamo a famiglia qui. They keep feeding us, mangia, 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 tutto mangia, ma delizioso, tutto delizioso. Molti giri, how do you say, taking a lot of trips. We've been taking a lot of trips. Domani, going to eat again at una cugina di Dario in Bienno. Domenica, what are we doing Sunday? Molti invitazione. Invitazione. Mi dispiace, non parlo italiano molto bene. So I was born in America. I became a nurse late in life. Dario and I met each other 16 years ago. 16 anni fa Dario e me insieme. I have uno figlio in Stati Uniti, uno nipote. Ecco, non lo so. What else you need to know?
In my work, there are lots of different schools of thought of how to proceed or how to approach people who are having difficulties. And actually, several years ago, I became associated with a group from Milan. It was known as the Il Centro per lo Studio della Famiglia di Milano, and we did similar work together. And one time I visited Milan, and conducted an interview with the Milan team, interviewing a family, and we learned a lot from them, and they also came to the United States and conducted interviews also with American families. So we worked together to find common ways of working with families in ways that are more effective, ways that reduce the stigma of families having difficulties, because every family has difficulties throughout their time. So we work in a way that is what we like to call compassionate, and we work with family members in respectful ways, as opposed to classifying them and diagnosing them and looking for problems within them. We look for strengths and we look for solutions. And there are lots of schools that work from this kind of model, and that's the one I prefer. And there are schools that are like that also in Italy. So there's lots of common ground in the areas of family therapy between the United States and Italy, as well as other countries throughout the world.
I'm a nurse, but I'm a psychiatric nurse, which is different from a medical surgical nurse in a hospital, a normal hospital. I work in a psychiatric hospital, and as a nurse in a psychiatric hospital, we're responsible for the clinical side of taking care of people. We're more of a supportive team, and we are considered a crisis intervention to keep people safe from serious illness, serious mental illness, but our scope is limited in that it's immediate, and then the idea is that from there a patient will leave the hospital and go to an outpatient setting where they have where they maintain a balance of experience that they need to.
Saluti a il mio papà che state a New York, e la mia sorella anche a New York, e mio fratello che è lei anche, e saluti ai nostri amici qui in Italia, i nostri cugini e famiglia, e saluti ai bravi italiani.